Hey people, what's going on? So, just had a little bit of a lunch right now, and I was just reading this book by I have a lot of books. I have a lot of books that I read. I have a really unconventional way of reading where I'll read like maybe 4 pages of a book one day, and then I'll like try to like reread that book, reread those pages to just get an understanding of what I'm reading. But I'll like make it a habit, make a routine out of reading it every day. I know that's really weird. But I was reading Malcolm X's autobiography. I'm on like the 40th page. And I know yesterday was Juneteenth. And I don't believe that the holiday will really take off until I'm in my 40s. Holidays don't naturally get everybody's participation unless it's very old. It's like if it's a holiday for let me say that again. Unless it's like a sexualized holiday or it's a holiday where you can benefit from it, like Pride Month. That's not a holiday, but it's something that you can do like activity wise, or like St. Patrick's Day. That's something people sort of benefit from. They get discounts on drinks. Or Christmas. Well, Christmas has been around for a long time, but holidays don't really they take a while to take off. I could see Juneteenth taking off in like 30 years from now, because when Martin Luther King birthday was like a holiday, it wasn't recognized in every state. Just like Black History Month. Black History Month started off as a week, the second February of the second week in February is when I just had something to eat. That's why I'm a little like foggy. But the second week of February is when they would recognize Black History Week. It was in 1976 is when they brought like Black History Month. Carter G. Woodson, I have a book by him, by the way. He thought of the idea of just, making it where we just, observe and recognize our history. But I'm going to just say this. I believe personally there are holidays that you should not celebrate. Like if you're Jewish, you should not celebrate Christmas. If you are Muslim, you shouldn't celebrate Christmas as well. If you're Native American, when I like Native Americans don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving that we know of today is because of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, popularized the idea of like turkey and stuffing, or like the food, like like um like like the culinary part of Thanksgiving is because of Abraham Lincoln. He popularized that idea. A lot of Native American people don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I think that not everybody should celebrate Juneteenth. And the people I'm talking about that shouldn't celebrate Juneteenth are these people. Because Juneteenth is supposed to recognize, liberation, freedom. Like, I was just freed from a debt that I didn't pay, like days before Juneteenth. I am qualified to celebrate Juneteenth. But I want to just say this. If you are today like a owner of any animals, like any pets or, domestic animals, I don't think you should celebrate Juneteenth. I don't think you should celebrate Juneteenth if you work in a jail or a prison or a nursing home. if you have an occupation where you are basically just overseeing people that are confined in a facility like a jail, prison, mental hospital, and they're forced to be there against their will, or they did something to get there, they're basically, you know, depriving them of going outside. Because this is my thing. Whatever they did to get there, you're not helping them while they're there. They end up a lot worse when they get out. It's like if you go to jail and you do a crime, you don't get help in jail or prison. Or if you go to a hospital, and I can attest to this, you don't get help in a hospital. They just drug you. They give you needles that you don't know what's in there. You could be all messed up when you get out. You don't help that person at all. You are depriving them of freedom, of liberty. So how can you celebrate a holiday when you go to work every day and you deprive someone of the freedoms and liberties that you have access to? When I worked in that nursing home, I could not eat. I couldn't eat lunch. But I told myself, these people have to eat this crap, this slop all day, and I have the liberty to go outside and buy real food. I mean, not like real food that's healthy, but they have to eat this crap that the people that work there would not eat themselves. And this is something that if we all reach the age of if we all reach the old age where we can't think for ourselves, we can't take care of ourselves, this is something that we're gonna have to deal with. Being old and, just having someone take care of you that probably would do a horrible job. But I think that I know you should not celebrate a holiday if what you do for a living deprives another person's freedom. How can you celebrate the freedom of a group of people, a certain demographic? You make a living off of basically depriving people of freedom. Because here's the thing, when I worked in that nursing home, I explained to some of the patients that were there why they couldn't leave, because they are not mentally like fit to go outside in the real world, like walk down the street. They'll get confused. They may be wrong. They're susceptible to getting robbed, getting assaulted. People taking advantage of them. They have no one to look after them. Their family doesn't want to do that. So that's when I say you have someone else doing it. You run a risk of having elder abuse occur. But I'm gonna say this one more time. You cannot celebrate a holiday that celebrates liberty and freedom, but your job is an occupation that takes that away from people. And all I'm saying is this: I'm not advocating criminals be free off the street. I'm not saying like murderers and drug dealers should be let go in the streets. But all I think this is my thing. If you claim to be like if you say that you want to be an officer, you want to be a police officer because you want to help others, you want to make sure the world is safe, all that crap, why don't they have it where when this person goes to jail or prison, they are actually correcting the problem? They call it correctional facility. Why aren't you correcting the problem? Like, why aren't you going at the origins of why this person sold drugs in the first place? Why aren't you making aware there are jobs available for a drug dealer? Why he doesn't have to sell dope anymore? Or why aren't you trying to like delve into why like the murderer killed? Why aren't you trying to change like certain like dysfunctions in families? Why aren't you going at that? Why aren't you going at the issues that make it where people kill and people commit sex crimes? That's what I feel like you should do. If a person is deprived of their freedom, they're like locked up, make it where you're actually correcting the problem. Because I personally think hospitals are a lot worse them prisons. But they're on like the top 5 like occupations I feel I don't have any respect for. Firstly, most importantly, law enforcement. Law enforcement, I guess you can throw, correctional officers in there too. That's sort of like, that's not really law enforcement, but correctional officers, law enforcement, nurses, doctors, and of course, the lovely people in our animal control. I was really trying to think of the people in, what do you call it, working in zoos, and that's another one too. I forgot to say, if you work in a zoo, you cannot celebrate Juneteenth. You can't celebrate a holiday that promotes liberty and freedom, and you take that away from at least another mammal like yourself. But I'm a little tired after eating. I'm gonna get a little bit of rest. Peace.